the ultimate showman, Paquito Navarro. He is 34 years of age. He's a former #1, and he has the nickname of Hurricane. And we all know that song, Paquito on Fire. Let's hope we see him on fire tonight. Martin Dinenno, the current #6, born in Argentina, currently lives in Buenos Aires. And we have some news from Martin Dinenno today. He has just announced the split from Franco's Jupajuk. They were known as the Super Pibes. They started playing together as 10-year-olds in 2007, and they were #1 in Argentina for many years. But this pairing have been struggling to find a way between Chingalan, Galan and Chingotto, and have made the decision to split. Let's talk through our players while they're warming up. They first partnered up during the 2020 season, and they did have a rocky start, getting used to each other's style of play. And they thought about breaking up, but the very next tournament, they reached their first final together. Paquito Navarro is the only Spaniard to become a champion in all age categories. He recently became a dad on the 25th of December, so what a Christmas present for him. Beautiful bajada there from Juan Teo into the corner, and Paquito just couldn't get it out. Wonderful way to finish the point. Dinenno aiming for the feet again. He knows he's catching Chingotto in a weak spot there. We are 2-all in the second set. Chingotto on the serve. Beautiful smash there at the feet of Chingotto. Very tactical from Dinenno. It was going to be very difficult for him to return that one. The players look like they're having an incredible time out there. A lot of fun to play in a slightly more relaxed environment for once. They have a very busy tour. There are 25 events currently on the Premier Paddle, and they are straight back into it next weekend. And he's really working well to set up the point at the moment, even setting the point up for himself to finish it. Navarro has really picked up his smashing, a little bit more pace and power, trying to pin the players at the back of the court. So they have won their first game. They're now on the scoreboard. Let's hope they can bring it back and make it a little bit closer. But as is often typical in paddle, sometimes the score doesn't always reflect the match. There have been some close points, but I think the difference has been the error rate. The music has gone up and the atmosphere is building in here already. The crowd are loving it. If last night was anything to go by, we are in for another very special display of top-level paddle and an evening filled with fun and entertainment. Chingotto has handed over his racket to one of the ball kids. Let's see, he's going to serve in the next point. He's impressive. Maybe this is the future of paddle for France. They're currently telling the crowd all about the Joker card, which can be pulled out at any moment by the team captains, Robert Perez or Ludovic Juli. An incredible tennis career, and she's one of quite a few tennis professional players that are turning their hand to paddle. Cinema Pongoli, whether he's been out getting some sneaky bit of training in, and he said they all have, actually. This is the first ever Ball Paddle 06. Can you tell us a little bit about how the Ball Paddle show came about? What does 06 actually mean? We are talking about the stronger players being on the left. Why is that? What are the characteristics of each side of the court? Elise is apologizing to the crowd for that bandeja. So talking of a bandeja, what is a bandeja for anyone who hasn't played paddle yet? So you were talking about the lobs. We don't just have one type of lob, do we? We have quite a few. Do you want to talk through the different tactics of different lobs? So they're losing the net quite quickly because he's serving and he's not coming forward, and it's putting Subri in a very difficult position. And then obviously Cornet and Cartman are then taking advantage of the net position very quickly. Looks like Charlotte has told Red One to start moving forward, and we're seeing a slightly different game shape up here now. We also see her giving very clear instructions to her partner. So I think she's gone, do you know what? We need to win this one, and then we're back, and we'll be 4-all. Let's see, Golden Juice. What have you noticed as the biggest challenge for tennis players when they are converting to paddle? That was a great point. That was a very typical paddle tactic as well. You focus on one player and give them the ball, and then suddenly the other player has fallen asleep a little bit and you surprise them with a shot. I was talking to them earlier, and they do say they all do regularly play against each other. So I don't think it's just going to be competitive because they're obviously professional athletes, but I think it's because there's a bit of history between their competition as well.
Have you experienced anything different?
I have not, but the only time when this changes up a little bit is when you have a left-hander on court. And obviously, we always put the left-hander on the right side of the court because it keeps their forehand in the middle. So I like the patience that was being built in that game, and Florent played it really well, actually. He was changing the pace of each bandeja. However, his bandejas were landing quite short in the court. He really needed to make them land a little bit deeper. So taking a look at how this match is going, obviously they've been playing for some time, not a long time, but some time, and we've heard they've been having a little bit of coaching. And I think technically Florent is the strongest player here, but he's putting too much pressure on himself to play fancy shots, finish the point, whereas Team Robert Pires are just being consistent. And in paddle, consistency really is key. So we have an interesting format for this match. It's 30 minutes timed. The clock will stop at exactly 30 minutes. They need to get as many games on the scoreboard as possible in those 30 minutes. If we are in the middle of a game, it will stop at the points that we're currently on, and that game will not count. We do have a very special card that they can pull out at any time during the 30 minutes, and that is our Joker card. And the Joker card, they can bring on a professional paddle player to play 1 point and 1 point only. So it'll be interesting to see how they use that strategic play in the match tonight. We had a very interesting conversation yesterday about her approach to competition. She's enjoying a break after 20 years of being on tour, but she is thinking about playing a few amateur tournaments and considering maybe a future with Team France for the Paddle World Championships, but she's a little unsure at the moment. She's going to go and play with a friend in some local tournaments and take it from there. She's bringing in the attack. She's closing down the space to the net. Beautiful smash out of court. What a point. They've had a week off this week, which means sometimes we see a few player changes because it gives them an opportunity to get used to their new partnership.